For over 40 years, the U.S. Department of Education has sponsored ERIC, one of the best, most comprehensive databases of educational research and information out there. At Ingram Library, we subscribe to a version of ERIC that includes the full text of many of its articles and reports and offers lots of special features to our users. You can get to ERIC via the Education Research Guide, the School Improvement Research Guide, which you see here, or through the Galileo database's A to Z list. If you have trouble, contact the library for help accessing this resource. This is ERIC. Here, you're given a number of interesting options right off the bat. So if I scroll down, I can see that I can limit to sources by education level, such as elementary or college students, by intended audience, for instance, for counselors or teachers, and by type of publication. So if I'm looking for reports or classroom guides. If you know your source's ERIC number, you can also enter it here. Each source in ERIC has a unique number, which usually looks like a 6 to 8 digit number. It'll start with either an EJ or an ED. EJ indicate journal articles that are published by independent publishers and just listed in ERIC. ED numbers indicate an ERIC document. ERIC documents are reports and studies from school systems and other institutions that are generally not published in any journal. They're just released through ERIC. ERIC searches these documents as well as outside journal articles together to make them all easier to find for teachers. They just have one place to look. They can just look at ERIC. If you're just starting out, you can start by doing a simple keyword search to find resources on any education topic. So, for instance, I will look for information on math tutoring. For each source, ERIC will tell you where you need to go to get the full text of that article. So for some articles that are listed on the official ERIC government websites, it'll say full text from ERIC. Other articles will have a PDF full text link. That means that we're just getting it through our databases and our subscriptions, so you can click on that to get that right away. Other articles will have this little blue Find It button. That just means that we don't have this article through this particular database. However, we have about 400 databases, so we might have it through one of those. You can click the Find It button, and it will search those other 400 databases. If we had it, it would list it here where it says no full text available, but that's okay. We can still get it for you. You just click on Request from Interlibrary Loan. If you've never used it before, go ahead and click First Time Users to register for an account. It's free for all of our students, faculty, and staff, but I'll just use our little demo account here. And the nice thing is, once I have an account, I can just log into it and it'll actually autofill the whole thing for me. So I just hit Submit Request, and they will get that article from another library and have it in my email, usually within about 2 to 3 days. Honestly, a lot of times within 24 hours. Our interlibrary loan group is absolutely amazing, and they're great. So there's no limit on the number of interlibrary loans you can request. There's no cost to doing interlibrary loans. If you need that material, you can use the Find It button and then the interlibrary loan to request it. If you don't need that many sources or are just exploring, you can scroll to the top of your results list and check the full text button to get just the items that you can get right away through this database without having to sort through and try and do interlibrary loans. ERIC offers a number of services besides just searching for each of the articles. You can click on the article title, and on the right-hand side, it will give you all sorts of options. So you can print the article, you can cite the article in whatever citation style you like. I do recommend using caution on these things. They tend to be about 90% correct. For instance, this APA citation, the article title should be in sentence capitalization and not title capitalization. So this will get you about 90% of the way there, but you definitely want to double check the citations before you're using it. You can also email the article to yourself and say, give me the APA citation, and it will email that article to you, give you a either link to the article in the database, or if it's on a PDF full text, it'll actually attach the PDF full text to you. So it'll just be waiting in your email. Going back to our results page, we have a number of other options that we can do to our search. We can limit our search by publication date, so you can just type in whatever date you want to do, like 2015 if you're just interested in the last 5 years. You can limit to type of source, so if you just need peer-reviewed academic journals, you can click on academic journals there. We also have this subject listing. Oops, there you go, thank you. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that for right now. We have the subject listing, which means that if you're interested in a particular thing like peer teaching, you can click on that and just get those articles that happen to talk about that subject. You can also click show more, and it will give you even more subjects. So if you're just interested in articles that are specifically talking about how effective it is, then you can click on that, or what its effect is on mathematics achievement, you can click on that, or perhaps only in 2-year colleges, and you can choose the 18 articles that just cover those colleges. I can also improve my search pretty easily. You can see that right now I have 130 results, that's okay. But as I'm scrolling through, I can look at the subject listings that my database has, and I'll notice that a number of these aren't highlighting math. They're finding math up here, but they're not finding mathematics. And that's because our database is stupid. It is a computer, and computers don't realize that tutoring has anything to do with tutorial. I told it to look for that sequence of letters that is 8 letters long, not this sequence of letters that is 8 letters long. For math, I told it to look for MATH, not math or anything to do with numbers. So it's not looking for mathematics or mathematical or anything else. So if there's an article that talks about mathematical tutorial programs, that's not coming up in this search. How can we make that come up? Well, there's a really cool technique that is called truncation, where you basically knock a word down to its root. So in this case, math is the root for math, mathematicals, maths, if it's an English article. And tutoring, we can also knock down to just tutor, with a little asterisk there. And what that is telling it is look for the word MATH and any other letters that end after that, and any word that starts with TUTOR. So tutoring, tutors, tutorials, tutored, tutor, just the word. And so when I search that, I go from 130 results up to 623. And now I'm getting a bunch of results that weren't coming up before. So we really recommend looking at the database subjects that are being used to talk about your topic, and try and adjust your search. Now with 623, I can narrow it down. Say I was only interested in teenagers. So I can search, teenager there. But you can see that there's all of these other searches that, all these other words that people might use to talk about my topic. So they might say adolescents or young adults or teens. So what these are searches that other researchers have done, and I can benefit from looking at the searches that they've done. And if I type a word and then type or, it'll give me a bunch of other words that I can use to talk about that topic. So for instance, I can search teen or the word adolescents or young adult or teenagers or high school, and get a bunch of other, I get 96 results, but I know that all of these 96 results have to do with, in this case, they didn't call them teenagers, they called them high school students. So if I just search teen, this result would not have come up, even though it totally has to do with my topic. We recommend that you kind of put every concept on its own line. So the idea of being young between 13 and 19 is fundamentally different than the idea of teaching math on a one-on-one session. You could even say that tutoring is kind of a different idea than math. So you might even try putting that on its own line. And in fact, when I do that, I see that I go from 96 up to 486. So don't go with just putting in 1 or 2 words. By taking these keywords that you're going to put in, think about making sure that every concept is on its own line, and that if you have something like math, and you could either use truncation or you can even do or for that, and that gives you all sort of options for what other people are searching for mathematics, you can get a lot more results with just 1 or 2 more words in your search. These same techniques will work in our other databases like Education Full Text and ProQuest Education Journals. Each of our databases searches a different collection of journals, so be sure to try your search in several. You're going to get different results each time, and maybe the best journal article on your topic that's ever been published just happens to be owned by ProQuest instead of by EBSCOhost, the company that happens to run ERIC for us. So don't limit yourself by our business contracts. Make sure you're checking multiple different databases. For help with any of these services, you can contact us using the Get Help page on our research guides or using our 24/7 live chat service you can find on the library homepage.